Welcome to Security Management, Building a Security Program. There's an old saying that when all has been said and done, more has been said than done. This is where it's so important that the security professional takes the approach of planning and doing, that we have to actually take the strategy we've talked about, the understanding of the business and the alignment with business priorities, and now build that into a security program. The problem is that security is not a static world, just like the business is not static. There are many changes we'll have to deal with nearly every day. Now, these could be new technologies that the business is considering and planning to implement, or it could be a new risk that emerges as well. We see the development of new forms of APTs. We see new attack vectors. We see the discovery of new vulnerabilities, as well as some things that might not have been so important before, now they're important. So this new risk is something that will change the security program as well. To further complicate things, we always have this problem of new regulations coming in as well, which come in asynchronously or asymmetrically in various countries at various times. And it's not as if it all comes in just at once in one unified approach. We have then that discovery of new threats, new vulnerabilities, and of course, the problem we always face is that when finally we get a good team together, everybody changes the job. And now we end up with staff that has to be retrained. We have new staff, new dynamics that come in as well. So management of a security program often means management of the resources available within security, but also management of those relationships with the owners of the business and the liaisons within the business units that also we need to work with in order to have a security program. So building a security program takes that strategy we looked at before and says, what do we need in money? Now, that's a pretty hard thing to guess. And in many cases, we're going to end up really with a number which is unrealistic and unsustainable and never going to be approved. But how can we cost justify our plan? This is where, quite often, we have to build things with a business case. Here is where we've said, this is the cost, but here are the tangible benefits that will be realized if we can make a suitable investment. As part of a good business case, we always put together the deliverables. Yeah, what's the result? What are we going to get for this project? And that is something we should describe those deliverables in the approach of the business. Not necessarily how will this help security, but how will this help the business to meet its mission and goals? So building a program takes that strategy and now says, who are the team members we need? Now you understand the challenge is that even a football team cannot do with 11 great players that all play the same position. We need different skills. We need different qualifications so we have a complete coverage of those who can be involved in offense, like maybe we can say here, penetration testing. Those who can be involved in defense, where they're dealing with things like log analysis. We have to deal with the people also that can do the coordination and the communication with the various groups as well. This requires us to find technical people, and that can be really difficult. Finding good technical analysts that can really take a look at something and say, yeah, here's the problem. It's like the same challenge you and I all face when we're dealing with trying to find a good car mechanic. But you also need people with a managerial approach. You need people with management, or sometimes we call them the soft skills. We need people on the team that are going to be able to communicate, deliver reports, able to manage a budget and manage a team, able to liaise and coordinate with different groups. So those are skills we need as well. Perhaps one of the most important things always is the leader. We need a leader that could lead the organization and lead the team. Security by its very nature teeters on the edge of chaos. Therefore, we need leadership to be able to inspire confidence and help lead the organization, lead all of the various personalities through the various crises and incidents that we will face. You need people from the business so that we can ensure that security remains aligned with and coordinated with business activities. This is where we need quite often people within the various business groups that can provide for us communication, both to tell us what's going on, as well as a way for us to spread out the message to those business groups as well. One of the more difficult areas is investigation. When we have to deal with a situation that requires us to dig deep into people, technology, and find out what really happened. Why did it happen? What can we learn from it? And what are the correct actions we should take as a result of this? And there are some people that are very good at taking a problem and chewing on it and finding what the real problem is, the root cause analysis. But that also requires people with analysis skills. People that can then take something and say, well, if this has happened, this is then why it happened, and can trace back some of the root cause of the problem. Building a security program means we need to know where we want to get to. That is, we have our visionary state. This is what the goal is. This is where we want to be, say 2 years from now. We know the visionary state, but the next most important thing is to know my current state. Where am I today? If I don't know where I'm going, then it doesn't matter which road I take. But if I don't know where I am, then how could I possibly choose the correct path towards the destination? We need to know both. And of course, the gap between them is where we build the roadmap, security programs and security projects that will take those incremental steps from where we are to where we want to be. Now, one of the terms we hear a lot in the information security world is state. So I just wanted to review quickly the definition of that term as we'll use it, as we use it in state machine models with Bell LaPadula, as we use in stateful inspection firewalls, as we use it in cryptography when we describe what condition the text is in between its plain text and ciphertext. We use the term state a lot. And state can be defined as the condition that an entity is in at a point in time. So, as a person is an entity. Are you tired, bored, excited, hungry? Well, we know state can change. State can change very quickly from someone who's, should we say here, hungry to someone who's full. With data, state can also change. Are we in a secure state? Or are we in a point where we are vulnerable or insecure? How do we determine or even define what a secure state is? This is something the work of Bell LaPadula tried to do. They determined that secure state was one where we were security preserving. We remain secure all the way through a transactional process. Some of the key things to review here. As security managers, we are architects, designers, but also engineers. We not only plan, but we build. And the security program is based on having that clear vision and a realistic understanding of what it's going to take to get towards that vision. A realistic understanding of business as well as security, because we know that the security program is made up of many different things. Each one is important. We need budget, but you need good people, and you need good tools.